Hello guys, it's me Ariel from That's on the Road. Um, to talk about this section about how I actually express myself these days about many topics. The PAC pictures were not the only things that I do to express myself. And a lot of times I do mini blogs about what's happening in the road. Um, in my second channel, Let's Help Positivity. I'll leave a link to my second channel in the description box, as well as the link for my Pinterest page. Anyways, um, why I wanted to do a little talk here is because I want to express a little bit myself. Um, so far, you guys are at the section where I actually say. What you can do to express yourself. But in this other section, I'm going to talk about how being creative is very positive and how it is very important and why is it very important to be creative in the world we are today. Uh, yeah, but also to tell you that I'm a person who really likes to express myself. I really like to talk. I really like to get a conversation about many things in the world. And also, I really like to express myself with pictures. As you can see, the PAC pictures are a very great example of my point of that I always like to express myself and creativity with my passion of art. With my passion of art in 2025, I want to make a good impact. I want to express myself with it. And my talent of doing art could be a very great weapon, quote unquote, to share my opinions about many things and to have more, quote unquote, power on these opinions. A lot of people, unfortunately, don't know how, and they get into things that they don't want to, like those manifestations that there are some people who break in and do chaos. Yeah, you don't want to get into there, don't you? You don't want to have chaos while you're expressing your opinion. And unfortunately, the people who break in to do bad stuff, your opinion is less heard. So if you want your opinion to be really heard, you might as well do pictures like this. Do videos about it on YouTube or any other social medias that you're comfortable with. As as long as your way to express yourself is good, very critical but very good, and not very insultful for people to look at, or not very offensive, you have the right to express yourself in any way you want to do that is good for us. You don't have to convince people, but just to share your opinion is very good. Um, because in the society we are, everyone will hear you, and when they'll think about your opinion, they'll think the same, kind of. They will kind of think the same, and will understand what you mean, and they will want to change a bit too. Because not everyone have the same opinions, and I think that is what's great about the world is that we all share different tastes, we share with different mindsets, and And unfortunately, there are people who take advantage of that to be more quote unquote powerful. But I don't think it's being powerful to steal things from people, to judge people, to assault people. I don't think that's power. That's just being pathetic. I'm sorry to say it, but just being, I don't know, just weak when you do that. It's my own point of view, not to offend you, but it's my point of view to people who judge badly people who cause chaos and all. There might be a reason behind that. Like, a lot of people have their own reasoning to do that. We could understand those reasons, but the way to express it is bad. So if you want to express yourself without being harmed, without being attacked, or without you harming people and attack people, without making people see you as a big threat, as a big black beast, not being racist here, just like a big beast, a big dark beast. You don't want to be seen as a beast. So if you don't want to see yourself as a beast, then great to share your opinion. And it doesn't have to be videos. There has to be art now. You can also write a blog. You can talk with it with the people around you. Express yourself at the way you're comfortable with, in a way that it won't attack people. You know, and that's what this blog about. This mini part here. I wanted to share with you. My own point of view about that. But right now, in the second section, there is going to be after this mini talk, and there's going to be a mini talk in a second as well. I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you why is it good to be creative in the world we are right now. Why is it important for you to be creative? All right. All of that said, let's get there. Hi guys. Now you're in the section of why being creative is very important. At this mini talk, I will talk about how I get creative to do mini stuff. So, first of all, for creating art, I look for inspirations on the internet, but not for reference, but for inspiration. Sometimes, just like that, I look at a video on YouTube and I get creative. I look at it, I'm like, oh, this could be a potential art idea, just like that. And often it does me that because I look at a lot of decoration videos, the furniture restoration, crafts. I look at a lot of these and even drawings and paintings, and just looking at them, I get inspired. I get inspired to do something. Um, and yeah, and this is how I get most of my ideas to actually do art. Sometimes it comes just from my brain. I'm looking at a piece of paper and I'm like, oh, I can do that. Simple as that. Or I can look at a empty box in my kitchen and I'm like, oh, I can do a project with that. I can do a castle. Being cre- Creativity with art is very easy for me, but I know that for you guys it can be hard. And the greater solution for that is to look for inspirations on the internet. Is the greatest way, but to copy a drawing, it's not really being creative. Um, but if you want to do like a art piece, like a 3D art that's inspired by an artist, just go for it. As long as you're inspired and you not copy it, it's fine. And getting inspired, you don't have to have shame to be inspired by an artist. The artist posed their art for to give you inspiration. It's kind of the role, to give you inspiration to do something. Sometimes, just like I said in the video, they do an art to express themselves about something, but it can give inspiration to someone of how they can express themselves about things. Creativity, as I already said in the mini text here, it comes from everywhere. It's in everywhere. From life to death. Um, from life to death, you have to you have to have creativity in your life, and it's a must, because how you will live life if you're not creative to find solutions to problems, to express yourself about things, to work in your life, to find your happiness, to find your identity, everything in your life. You have to get creative. And also, being creative also means that you're very resilient, because in everything that happens to you, you will find a way to make it work for you. And if something bad happens to you, you will find a way to fix it. So it's less bad to your view. Creative also means that you create that you're your own thing. You are yourself and not a copy. Creative also means that you will not depend on others, which is very, very good. Because if you depend on others to do things, how are you gonna live life on your own? Creativity, it comes from your brain and it's everywhere. And if you don't see it, one day you'll see it. Eventually, because with everything that happens to you, you need to get creative to get past out of it. Um, but to talk more about myself, how I get creative to solve problems, how I got to get creative is because of art. And how I solve my problems, like for example, I need to organize markers. There were one time that I actually picked an old bag and I put all my markers inside of it, because I found that bag and I was like, what if it could be a potential organizer for my markers, and it worked for a little time. Then when I redid the whole shelf again, because I did a video that redid the shelf, and eventually after the video, more later, I decided to redo it again, because the system, yes, it worked, but it wasn't really fitting 100% with myself. So I decided to redo it again, and the way I did it, it was awesome. All the markers is at one place, all the paint is in one place, paintbrushes are in one place, all the craft supplies are in one place, all my pencil cases are in one place. Everything is in one place. Even my craft paper is now beside the box for my markers, because yes, I changed the place for the markers, and it's inside a pink box, and every markers fit in it. Of course, I decided to put them inside, because they all fit in there. The small markers, the very big markers, they fit in there. Awesome. Why not? So creativity, it comes from art. You get creative because of art. Um, but sometimes, but if you're not a person who does art, how you can get creative by solving problems. When a problem happens to you, you get creative. Or the best way that everyone can get creative is organization. You can get creative by doing organization. And I and as much as you do it, your creativity will increase. It's the simplest way. If you're someone who does art like me, that's a huge bonus. But organization is the best way. It's something that we all have to do. Organization. It's something we all need to do. So it fits for everyone, you know? And if you have another way to get creative, that's also fine because being creative comes from your mind. It doesn't come from others. It comes from you. It comes from your identity. What things are comfortable for you to do. And the more creative you get, the more resilient you are about things. And it's incredible. Creative can make you grow. And it's very positive. If though there are a lot of people who are creative that we do something bad about it, it's not creativity that is bad. It's what you do with it that it's bad or good. Creativity is like the internet. It's just something that needs a balance. You know, it's like a balance. You need to have the positivity and negativity. Creativity is just like internet, just like I said. It's something. But what actually makes the good side and the bad side, it's us, not creativity. The greatest example for it, I'm gonna get an example from Kung Fu Panda 2, a kid show. Lord Shin is this character is the greatest example. He uses his creativity, but he uses it for bad. He doesn't use it for good. You know, with all of his army, his weapons, his martial arts, he doesn't do it for good. He does it for evil. But it's not creativity that is evil or good. It's Lord Shin. He's the greatest example, okay? If you haven't watched Kung Fu Panda 2, do it. Because Lord Shin is one of the greatest characters. The greatest example of how... is the greatest example that creativity is good or bad because of the person, you know? And not because of the word, you know? And just like everything, there's a balance of good and evil. So, but all of that said, I know this mini talk is the longest, but I needed to tell you this in a more speaking way. I know that this little movie is different from the one that I did in March, but I always want to work with different things that I do. I always want to try something different from another with the mini movies that I do, which is also how I get creative. So all of that said, let's get to the outro because I won't do it in the mini talk. Bye.